At the May gathering of the Presbytery of Philadelphia, we hosted several brief presentations playfully titled, Thinking on the Edges. These talks explored how various church leaders are being used as transforming agents in their congregations and communities, leading from the edges of innovation and possibility. The edges of ministry creativity look different for all of us. Hear now what the edges of church ministry look like as Reverend Casey Thompson of Wayne Presbyterian Church reflects on missional presence through urban and suburban church partnerships.
We don't know much more, but we just heard from two of our partners in Southwest. They're having a little trouble getting along. One's a school, one's a church, and they share a parking lot. Let us go find out more about this. And so we went down and we looked at that church, which had actually been vacant for a while because it had been a few years since they had heat. And we looked at it and we said, can you imagine the different possibilities here if we actually are able to mobilize our church and mobilize the church that's here? That church was not suffering from a spiritual malaise. That church was suffering from a building they couldn't keep. I mean, 60 to 80 people can do amazing things for the kingdom of God, but not if they're always worried about it. So how can we unlock this together? That's the story of the questions that sort of led to this. But the final question was probably the most difficult, and it's one that we still work on every day. As a suburban church and an urban church, as a predominantly white church, as a predominantly African-American church, the question really became, how do we learn how to trust each other as we go forward with these things? So those are the questions that led to the Commonwealth. They were questions that still sort of drive a lot of those things. But we are excited about where we are and where we're going.